for changes. In 1776, this great nation accepted that armed conflict was the only way to preserve our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If our founding fathers could only see us now. From Antietam to Amiens, Okinawa to Anchorage, we have fought. And now, the Red Menace is at our doorstep. Democracy itself is under threat of annihilation. That is why today, July 4th, 2076, 300 years after our great nation began, we gather together to honor the completion of Vault 76.
Fallout as a franchise has never been more popular than it is today. With the Fallout TV series debuting on Prime last year, currently on its second season, and apparently being greenlit to go up to Season 5. So, safe to say, Fallout isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I've been a huge fan of the series back when I first played Fallout 3 when I was a small child. I didn't quite understand how to really play it back then, but I knew there was something special about it. But this video isn't about Fallout 3. No. This is about the most recent mainline release in the series, Fallout 76. The multiplayer Fallout game that maybe about 3 people asked for. I got the game on sale a few years ago to give it a shot, and I remember not really getting into it. It didn't scratch that Fallout itch for me at all. But fast forward a few years into 2026, and a lot have said the game's improved a lot since then. And admittedly with the TV series, I've been on a bit of a Fallout hyperfixation. So I decided to give 76 another fair shot. And after playing for a good few hours, I can confidently say, yeah, I still do not really like this game. But hey, they added Walton Goggins. That's something, I guess.
Cool down there, cowboy. Buy a fella dinner first.
When 76 first launched back in 2018, the game had absolutely no NPCs at all.
In the hills of West Virginia, you are one of the first to emerge into an untamed and very different wasteland.
Boring!
The whole concept was that it was supposed to be you and your fellow vault dwellers coming fresh out of Vault 76 for Reclamation Day. The day the vault door opens, and it's basically your job, and apparently yours only, to rebuild the wasteland from the apocalyptic death trap that it is into a thriving civilization again. It was all an idea that sounded decent on paper, but in actuality was fucking terrible.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Especially since the map would only hold 24 players at a time, so the West Virginia Appalachia felt empty and a waste of time. And mind you, that was only one problem with this game. 76 had an obscene launch, being the buggiest game Bethesda ever did at that point, having pretty much no RPG elements at all, which is one of the main things Fallout is known for, and on top of that, the Collector's Edition was better off being used as a trash bag. Yeah! But obviously, that's all in the past, and to Bethesda's credit, they have been keeping up with giving the game free updates. And according to the community, Fallout 76 has been fixed for years now. NPCs are back, quests actually exist, and the map is admittedly pretty impressive. Probably my favorite thing about this game, if I'm honest. I sat down and gave it a proper shot, and within a few hours, I was being killed by enemies I could not see, could not shoot, and couldn't confirm were even real.
What the fuck?
76 has had one of the longest redemption arcs in modern gaming. It launched broken, unfinished, and borderline hostile to its own audience. Since then, Bethesda has added NPCs, dialogue, factions, storylines, and years of patches, which means the game should be fine now. And technically, it is. Functionally, that's a different story. Why is your friend staring at me like that? Let's start with the positive, because there are positives. The map is excellent. West Virginia's Appalachia is easily one of Bethesda's best environments. It's big, varied, and genuinely interesting to explore, which is impressive because it's doing most of the emotional labor for the rest of the game. You can wander into ruined towns, creepy landmarks, and there's definitely sprinkles of the environmental storytelling we've seen in pretty much all of the Fallout games. For brief moments, the game can actually feel like a Fallout game. The inclusion of the water park is really cool, as well as the Mothman cultists that worship, yeah, you guessed it, the Mothman. The environments are really cool, and every time I wandered off to find something new, I just kept getting the itch of wanting to say, man, I wish this was a single-player Fallout game. Exploration is one thing 76 consistently gets right. You can wander for hours, discover ruined towns, weird landmarks, and unsettling locations. And for a moment, the game almost convinces you everything is okay. You know, almost. Now, when the game works, combat in 76 is just fine. It's basically Fallout 4 except with a weird change to the VATS system. Since it's a multiplayer game, time doesn't freeze or slow down anymore. VATS basically works in real time now, and honestly, it just feels wrong to me. It almost feels completely pointless to use. Guns feel serviceable, movement is decent, VATS exists in a form that can be best described as trying its best, I guess. And the melee is the same clunkiness you'd expect. It's not satisfying, but it's functional enough to get by. The problem is that Fallout 76 rarely just works, because the moment combat matters is when the game starts fighting back. Now, during my recent experience is where the game really broke me. During my time at the game, I encountered invisible ghouls, enemies living inside walls rent-free, textures simply refusing to load, and falling through the map. At one point, I was taking damage with no enemies on screen at all, no hit indicators, and no audio cues beyond the sound of my own death. Combat stopped being about positioning or gear, and it just became a guessing game for me. Now, mind you, I'll say my PC isn't top of the line or anything, but it's good enough to run Fallout 4 without 90% of the problems I've had with 76. The whole experience I had just felt like a bad acid trip. Fallout relies heavily on immersion. You're supposed to feel like you're surviving in a hostile wasteland. Fallout 76, however, prefers to remind you that you're playing a video game, one that occasionally forgets how walls work. Textures pop in late, objects lose collision, enemies appear, disappear, and then reappear like they're buffering, and once you notice it, you can't really unsee it. Every fight becomes a risk, not because the enemies are dangerous, but because the game might just stop functioning. That's not tension, that's called anxiety. I found myself having a splitting headache by the time I was done playing. Fallout 76 is a multiplayer game, and that only amplifies the problems. Now, being honest, I didn't really have any friends to play with because I'm a lone cowboy, but I will say, to the game's credit, I can see it being a much better time if you have a group of pals with you throughout your journey. Whenever I tried to talk to anyone, they all just ignored me like I was a regular NPC. I'm not sure how common that really is, but it reminded me of high school all over again. At some point, it becomes obvious what the real enemy is. It's not the Scorched, it's not the super mutants, it's not even Bethesda's design decisions. It's the engine. Fallout 76 is built on technology that was never meant to support persistent online worlds and real-time multiplayer combat. And pretty much every bug I ran into felt like a symptom of that. Really, it's just expected behavior from Bethesda at this point. Now, this is where Fallout 76's reputation gets kind of a little complicated. Yes, it's better than what it was at launch, but no, that doesn't mean it's reliable. A game can be improved and still be broken. Fallout 76 feels like it's constantly one update away from stability, and it has been for years, which makes it exhausting for me to play. Not because it's hard, because it's completely unpredictable in a way that makes me want to pull out my own ass hair.
That's disgusting!
And yes, there are sprinkles of good in 76. I could appreciate the added quests when they're actually interesting. There's some bits of skill checks in the dialogue, which is always a nice touch. The skill system is different. It's at least a unique idea, albeit a bit confusing. 76 wants credit for how far it's come, and yeah, to a degree, it has come a lot farther than its initial launch. But I really think it's safe to say this game just isn't for me personally. When enemies turn invisible, clip through reality, and kill you without warning, progress doesn't really matter. I can't judge this game by what it could be, only by what it actually was while I played it. And what I played was a game that kept breaking in ways I was told really didn't happen anymore. If your experience was smooth, that's great. Mine felt like the engine was rolling dice every encounter. When it comes to Fallout, and mainly Bethesda, I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just disappointed and tired.
Sorry if I'm a little fucking snippy.
That's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired.
totally-
And I work with fucking children.
I really don't think 76 fills that Fallout void that myself and others are looking for. Again, if you enjoy the game, that's no harm to you. As I've said, I believe this game is a lot better if you have friends to join you on your adventure. But for me right now, I'd rather just have a full-fledged single-player open-world RPG Fallout that we're so used to. But anyway, that was my rant on Fallout 76. Appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I will talk to you guys in the future.